If you thought Explosive Kiss delivered intensity only on screen, it's because you haven't yet discovered what happens off it. Today, we're going to talk about the personal lives, romantic interests, gossip, and rumors of the series of the moment. Explosive Kiss may have won over the public with its intense script and the absurd chemistry of the protagonists, but one thing is certain: Mu-jun has become the real center of attention. And it's no exaggeration to say that many fans only hit play to find out who this actor with a calm gaze, cute smile, and mysterious aura was. To start, Mu-jun is part of the new generation of actors that is exploding very quickly. He didn't come from a long career of supporting roles. On the contrary, his rise was relatively fast, gaining space with that combination that Korea loves: talent, natural beauty, and a quiet charm that works incredibly well on camera. Many people don't know this, but Mu-jun almost didn't enter entertainment. He grew up dreaming of working behind the cameras and even considered pursuing a career totally away from the spotlight. It was only in early adulthood that he realized he had screen presence and decided to take the risk. The bet paid off, and today he's one of his agency's big bets. But of course, let's get to what everyone really wants to know. What about his love life? Like many beginning actors, Mu-jun is extremely reserved. He doesn't talk about romances, doesn't post anything suspicious, and has never been caught in situations that suggest dating. This has led many fans to believe that he simply never got involved with anyone, which is unlikely, considering his age and his social circle within the industry. Speaking of age, brace yourself. Mu-jun is older than he looks. He has that first love from school face, which fools a lot of people, but he's already in his 27 years, living a more mature phase focused on his career. And even being so discreet, he hasn't escaped the first rumors. When filming for Explosive Kiss began, some internet users noticed the natural chemistry between him and Woo Da-vi behind the scenes. And of course, that was enough to spin dating theories. Theories that the production itself cooled down, saying the two only had an aligned professional energy. At the moment, everything indicates that Mu-jun is single. But considering how fast his fame is growing, it wouldn't be any surprise if new theories or gossip emerge in the coming months. After all, in Korea, all it takes is one off-script look to make headlines. Woo Da-vi is one of the great revelations of Explosive Kiss, and her magnetic presence made many people rush to find information about who she really is off-camera. Unlike what many imagine, her entry into entertainment wasn't immediate or obvious. Since childhood, Woo Da-vi was shy, but always drew attention at school performances. Teachers and classmates said she had a natural sensitivity for expressing emotions, something that would become her trademark in the future. Her family had no connection to the artistic world, which makes her trajectory even more surprising, since she built everything practically from scratch. Over time, as a teenager, she realized that acting was more than a hobby. She began to study acting seriously and dove into the universe of tests, auditions, and small opportunities that came up. Her dedication caught the industry's attention, and it didn't take long for her to land roles that showed her talent for intense characters full of nuances. Those who work with Woo Da-vi often say that she is extremely dedicated, always shows up early, reviews the script repeatedly, and tries to make her colleagues' work easier whenever possible. But of course, the subject that attracts the most public attention is the actress's love life. And here, the answer is not simple at all. Woo Da-vi is known for being extremely reserved. She avoids commenting on relationships, has never been caught in suspicious dates, and prefers to keep a discreet profile on social media. This posture means that almost nothing about her romances is public knowledge, creating an atmosphere of mystery that only increases fans' curiosity. Even so, rumors abound. When the cast of Explosive Kiss was confirmed, internet users immediately began to speculate that Woo Da-vi and Mu-jun were experiencing something beyond acting. The chemistry between the two, both in scenes and behind the scenes, was enough to fuel theories. Photos from filming were analyzed as if each look or smile carried secret clues. However, the drama's production denied everything, stating there was only professional harmony. This wasn't enough to completely end the speculation, as many fans still believe there's something between them that will never be publicly acknowledged. In past interviews, Woo Da-vi revealed being cautious in romantic matters. She said she falls in love slowly, prefers to build deep connections, and avoids quick relationships. This contrasts with her characters, who often experience intense and impulsive passions. In real life, she is more reserved, selective, and rational. To this day, there are no confirmed reports of previous relationships, which helps reinforce the image of a focused and discreet actress totally dedicated to her own goals. Whether she's single or not, only she knows. But what the public really sees is a talented, disciplined artist in full ascent. Woo Da-vi is still at the beginning of her career, and her careful posture with her personal life may be one of the reasons why her name has been growing so rapidly. While many try to guess who has won her heart, she prefers to let her acting speak for her. And perhaps it's precisely this silence that makes her even more fascinating. Ahn Eun-jin is one of those rare cases of an actress who seems to have been born to act. Before shining in Explosive Kiss, she already carried a solid reputation because of her work in theater and musicals, where she developed the emotional precision that today impresses the public. Her presence on stage is natural, mature, and full of sensitivity. She doesn't force anything. She doesn't exaggerate. She simply conveys truth. And perhaps it's precisely this authenticity that makes so many fans interested, not only in her work, but also in her personal life. But here begins the great enigma. Ahn Eun-jin is also reserved, and although she rarely talks about her private life, rumors abound. One of the most talked about emerged during the filming of Dr. Slump, when she acted opposite Park Hyung-sik. The chemistry between the two was so natural that, as soon as the drama began to be promoted, internet users began to speculate that something was happening outside of fiction. In interviews, they exchanged jokes, showed comfort, and seemed to understand each other effortlessly. That was enough for Korean pages to start circulating theories saying the two were getting close in a special way. Nothing was confirmed, but the rumors circulated for weeks, and even today, there are those who believe they matched too well to be just acting. In addition to these rumors with famous colleagues, there's an old curiosity that Ahn Eun-jin herself let slip in past interviews. She commented briefly that she lived an important relationship before entering the world of television, something that marked her youth. She never gave names, never told details, and never touched on the subject again. This, of course, fueled speculation about a possible ex-boyfriend from the theater days, or someone completely away from the artistic world. The mystery only increased when fans noticed that she avoids talking about her own romantic past since then. Overall, Ahn Eun-jin gives the image of a woman careful about what she shares, someone who understands the weight of public exposure and prefers to preserve her bonds away from the spotlight. Even so, her name always ends up involved in theories and assumptions, precisely because her discreet posture opens space for interpretations of any closer interaction with cast members. To this day, nothing has been officially confirmed. No acknowledged relationship, no concrete revelation, just rumors, analyzed looks, reinterpreted interviews, and that silence that leaves the public even more curious. And perhaps it's exactly this balance between talent, professionalism, and mystery that makes Ahn Eun-jin one of the most fascinating figures of the new generation. Jang Ki-yong is, without a doubt, one of the most striking names of the new generation of Korean actors. He has presence, he has posture, and carries that silent magnetism that makes any scene seem more intense than it really is. Before shining an explosive kiss, Ki-yong had already won over the public in various roles, from romance to suspense, always delivering performances that leave the feeling that he deeply understands each character he portrays. His strong appearance and his acting full of nuances created a definitive space for him in fans' hearts. But behind this solid career, there exists a figure much more reserved than many imagine. Jang Ki-yong rarely exposes his private life. He avoids commenting on relationships and maintains an extremely protected social circle. And it's precisely this silence that turns any detail into fuel for rumors. After all, the less he talks, the more the public tries to find out on their own. One of the biggest rumors in Ki-yong's career happened when he acted opposite Hyeri in the drama My Roommate is a Gumiho. The chemistry between the two was so strong that Korean headlines began to insinuate that they might be experiencing something off-camera. The way they laughed together in interviews, the prolonged looks, and even some behind-the-scenes footage that leaked contributed to the public creating the idea that there was a romance there. The agency denied it immediately, stating that the two were just good colleagues, but that didn't stop fans from continuing to analyze every interaction of theirs for months. Another rumor emerged during the filming of Now We Are Breaking Up, when Ki-yong acted opposite Song Hye-kyo. Their partnership was the target of attention from the first announcement because the actress is constantly linked to cast members due to her natural chemistry and history of public relationships. Even so, the buzz gained strength when fans noticed that Ki-yong seemed particularly comfortable alongside her. Some internet users commented that he showed special care for Hye-kyo, while others believed it was all just professionalism. Although nothing was confirmed, this rumor marked the drama's period and generated thousands of comments on Korean networks. There's also a more discreet rumor involving an unidentified model who was allegedly seen with Ki-yong at a cafe before he gained great prominence. At the time, photos circulated of a man who looked very much like him next to a young woman, and theories emerged quickly. However, the image wasn't clear, and many people believe it might not even have been him. This rumor was never confirmed or denied, and ended up becoming one of those mysteries that only further fuel curiosity about his personal life. In addition, longtime fans comment that, before gaining notoriety, Ki-yong lived a long-lasting relationship with someone outside the industry. The information came from former co-workers, and never gained official confirmation, but is frequently mentioned when the subject is his past. This theory resurfaces whenever the actor appears particularly closed off during interviews about relationships, as if he carries a story he prefers to leave completely in the past.